Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're gonna take a look at the volumetric templates, which is my newest module. You could call it an add-on for levels, which basically brings templates in Foundry to the 3D space. So let's take a look at some of the settings first. What we have here is some suggested settings. Sorry. So first, what you have to realize is that this calculates like a geometrically accurate volume intersection. So whenever you place a template, it will tell you the percentage of volume that intersects between the token and the template. And here you can set which percentage counts as valid. So if it's, in this case, if it's above 25, the token will be automatically targeted by the template. The second option is a dynamic auto swap, which basically automatically decides if the template should be 3D or 2D, depending on the data you provide to the template. We have a check collision option, which will check if there are walls or ceilings or floors between the origin of your template and the center of the token. Then we have some enabled defaults, which we don't care about right now, and the debug mode, which I have enabled, which will show you the percentage you have targeted when you place a template, but we will see that soon. I would suggest that you have the dynamic auto swap enabled. If you don't, there is like a lot of manual fiddling you can do to set up templates, but I really suggest you have this enabled, to be honest. So let's see what it actually does. We have a button in here. This will let you input some data for the next template you place. We have the elevation, which is the elevation of the origin of the template, which can be like any unit measurement of your canvas, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't really matter. Special is the second field, which is used to define some extra information that we need to make some templates 3D. So let's look at what actually the basic stuff does. Now you have your usual template controls here, the circle, cone, rectangle and ray. Then we have some extra options. This is a toggle. Basically this toggles between a cylinder and a sphere, because when we have a circle we don't know if it's a cylinder or sphere. If it's disabled it's gonna be a sphere, if it's enabled it's gonna be a cylinder. This toggle here ignores self, and this one here ignores friendly characters. So let's test with the most basic thing, which is a sphere. So now the system will automatically pick up the elevation of the last token you selected. So if I select this guy, it's gonna place the template at 40 feet. I'm gonna select this guy, so my template will be placed at 0 feet. So let's try. I've got big tokens so you can see better what's going on here. I'm gonna try to place this sphere. As you can see, this guy is 51% cover, 25, and this guy on the other hand, which is at 40 feet, the sphere does not reach him, so 0% of his volume is covered by this sphere. And we can do the same with basically the other shapes, but there is a special thing about the cone. So the cone has a slight issue, which is when you cast a cone. Let me make a drawing here with my amazing skills. Let's say we are watching the token from the side. So this is the ground and this is the token here. If I were to cast a cone at 0 elevation, the cone would be cast like this from the side, right? But we have an issue because usually cones are either launched from the head or from the hand, depending on what you're doing. Like a dragon breath would be from the mouth of the dragon, while like if you're using your staff to cast something, like we need a different elevation. So in this automatic mode, when you cast a cone, it will try to estimate the position of your hand/head and cast it accordingly. Let me show you. So right now, as you can remember, we have selected this token, which is a 0 elevation, and we are gonna try to make a cone. So if I make a cone, as you can see, it's gonna switch it to 4 elevation, which is kind of where his hand would be. And this will dynamically switch. So if I take this token, which is bigger, and I cast a cone, now it's at 24 feet, which is kind of where his hand is. And as you can see, this cone actually hits this guy. The next thing, well, we have the... Now we have a special... now we have a different case, because the circle and the cone, we don't need any extra information to create a shape in 3D space. But for a square, we do, because we need the height. So in this case, when I place this square here, I haven't set any height. It will just calculate the area. So let me show you. As you can see, this guy got targeted. This guy did not, and this guy did not. This guy got ignored because of a little issue, don't worry about it. But the point is that it's using a square, not an actual cube. So how do you make a cube, you might ask? So basically, how you would make a cube is in this special field here. So let's say we want to hit this guy. We're gonna make the cube like 60 feet high. Now, when we place a cube, as you can see, this token got targeted because the cube is 60 feet high. And the same goes for the ray. So the idea is the same, basically. Right now it's only calculating the area. If I give it a height, it will calculate volume. Now, let me clear this debug because I have a million things opened. But this is the long and short of it. You can switch to a cylinder, you can ignore self, you can ignore the friendly characters. Dead characters will be automatically ignored, and there is the collision setting which will help you with some stuff. For example, in this case, we don't have walls here, but we have a floor, which is set up with levels. So if we select our cultist here, and we were to place a sphere right under this floor, as you can see, this guy didn't get it, because there is a floor between the origin of the sphere and the token. And as you can see, it's quite precise. This guy is checking at 1.8%, which is like this little space here. So yes, keep this in mind. It doesn't follow any system-specific rules for AoE targeting. So it doesn't work with system-specific rules. It's just a geometric way, and you can set it up however you like. You can have whatever percentage you want. This might even make more sense, like if you are playing, for example, D&D 5e. Let's say we have this huge token. In theory, in D&D 5e, if you were to place a template that basically covers like half of this square here, this guy would be targeted. Like, would be considered a valid target, which in my opinion doesn't make sense. So if you like the alternate ruling, you can set like your percentage as you wish. I like 25 to 50 personally, but yeah. So this is the long and short of it. Basically bringing templates to the third dimension, and this requires, of course, levels. And it's a Patreon-only module. It's basically an add-on for levels. So if you like to check it out, the Patreon link is in the description, and you can get it on my Discord. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little sub-module, and see ya.